Alright, here we go. Hello, this is CB Ultra 768, and we are back with Phoenix Wright, Trials and Tribulations. And last time, we finished the first part of our investigation, where we got a lot of info. We basically managed to finally get to the Inner Temple, where we met Godot, where he finally revealed why he hates us so much, because he blames us for the death of Mia Fey, because he says you didn't protect her, and again, from the flashback, we obviously know who Godot is now, but again, I'll wait for the game to reveal it, but we obviously know who he is. And we're also kind of concerned about Maya, because it turns out she might actually already be dead, since she's in the cavern right behind Iris here, which had one lock, but all of a sudden now has 5, which now Franziska von Karma is going to try to figure out if she can open it up. And we also learned that Elise Dexium, who was killed, turns out she was actually Misty Fey, Maya's mother and grandmother to Pearls. So yeah, to tell you the truth, yeah, I was surprised by that, because again, I was always wondering, like, what happened to Misty Fey? Like, does she ever appear in any of the other games after this? Then I'm like, oh, she's dead now. It turns out she was killed. And obviously I know who killed her, but we'll get to it. So anyway, let's start our second investigation by talking to Iris here. Escape. Why did you make a run for it, Iris?
I'm sorry. I heard the Inner Temple had been severely shaken by the strong earthquake we had. I was so worried. I just had to come and see.
In other words, you didn't run away to escape the law. At least, we're clear on that.
I can't tell you how relieved I was when I saw the sacred cavern was alright, but...
But what?
I do love how Von Karma's just with us. She's like our buddy. Since we don't have Maya with us, she has to tag along. Though, when we leave this room, she's gonna stay, because again, she has to watch Iris.
Then I saw these chains here. I saw all these extra locks that someone had put on the secret cavern's door and... Who in the world would do something like this?
Trick lock.
These trick locks are a sacred treasure of the Karikan tradition. There are hundreds of ways to set them. That's why only the person who set the lock can open it.
And you aren't the one who've set these locks?
I don't think it's that simple, Franziska von Karma. When we were here the first time, there was only one lock. But now, somehow, there's 5 of them.
What does that mean?
It means that someone wanted to secure the place even more. And they wanted to secure it before you got here, Iris. Presumably because they wanted to make sure Maya couldn't get out. This means that Iris can only open one of these locks. The first one.
Yes, that's correct.
What?
Iris, try to think, please. Isn't there any way around this?
Well, like I said, there are hundreds of different ways to set these locks. I suppose if I went through every combination with each one, I could remove them. But...
It will take time, won't it?
Yes, about a day if I had to guess.
A whole day?
Well, that's better than leaving the locks in place. Will you do this for us?
Sure, I'll do whatever I can.
We've gotta wait another day? Hang in there, Maya. You're going to have to call on your inner strength now. Alright, night of the crime. You know what, Iris? There's still one thing I don't quite get.
And what might that be, Phoenix Wright?
I think it's obvious. Iris, on the night of the murder, where were you? Please, Iris, don't give me that look. You told us that you were in your room at Hazakura Temple at the time of the incident. But you were seen at that same evening at the Inner Temple. And then you were spotted at the scene of the crime in Hazakura Temple, too.
Being spotted at both Hazakura Temple and the Inner Temple, it's as if you were...
Well, Iris, I think it's about time you told us the truth.
No!
Dang it. Cha-cha-cha-cha. 3 this time, not 5. I knew it. There's something going on here that we don't know about. Oh, she's so sad. Alright, nothing else we can do here. Time, we gotta get to Heavenly Hall. Where's that? Ugh. Okay. I'm finally getting to the bottom of this case. I can count on Iris to break those locks, so I should try to gather more clues. From Sister Bikini, Edgeworth, Gumshoe, and Pearls. Okay, so I'm assuming go to the suspension bridge. It's weird that there's no one around all of a sudden. It sure gets quiet up here in the mountains when you're all on your own. Speaking of alone, I guess I should go check out the shack just down this path. Maybe I'll find Larry there sulking again. Alright, here we go. Heavenly Hall.
Oh, Mr. Nick!
Pearls! What are you doing here?
Nothing. What about Mystic Maya? Is she alright?
Well, we don't know yet.
Oh, I see.
Hey! What do you think you're doing here, Nick? Larry? This is the loser shack! Where losers get together to lose themselves, man! This is the what? Hey! We found cover to each other's failures, okay? You got a problem with that, man?
Look, Mr. Nick, Mr. Lawrence did a picture of me.
That's, great, Pearls. We're going to gather firewood now, man. We'll be cooking some half-rotten potatoes over a miserable little campfire. So stay out of the way, man. I don't believe this. Why can't he try getting fired up over becoming a better man? No one believes a word I say anymore, man. Listen to me, Pearl. You don't want to trust this kind of guy, okay? He'll only let you down.
Oh, Mystic Maya.
Oh dear. Alright, let's talk. Orange's sketch. Larry, is there something you want to tell me about this picture? I've got nothing to say to you, Nick! My life's not here. My life's here now, with Pearl. 2 losers cooking potatoes together forevermore, man! What am I going to do with him? Alright then. What do you think about this picture, Pearls? I was about to say, the flying one? Yeah.
I think it's really well drawn. I can't draw at all, so I think it's really amazing.
See? Someone appreciates it, man! It's tough getting the flames to look like that, you know?
It's supposed to be Sister Iris flying through the air, isn't it? I love it. It's like a dream, a wonderful fantasy.
No! It wasn't a dream, man! She really flew! I tell you, Iris really flew that night!
But, Mr. Lawrence...
Huh? Not you too! Please don't look at me like that, Pearl! Don't look at me like I'm some kind of nutcase! I beg of you, man! I guess this picture really is a representation of what Larry thinks he saw. Okay, so I was having sleep when I was here that night, man. But I was wide awake after the lightning struck. And I saw what I saw, man. It was exactly like I drew in the picture. And it looks like I don't have any choice but to take this sketch at face value. Hey, what's with the look of doubt on your face, man? Okay, night of the crime. Pearls.
Yes, Mr. Nick?
I've been meaning to ask you about the night of the murder. Where were you, and what exactly were you doing when it all happened?
I'm just a kid, you know. I'm sure it doesn't really matter what I was doing. Does it, Mr. Nick?
Sorry, Pearls, but yes, it does. On the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Miss Dexium's room reading a book together. But Miss Dexium was murdered, and you, Pearls, were at the Inner Temple. Just what exactly happened that night, Pearls?
I'm really sorry, Mr. Nick.
No, not you too. Goddamn.
I've been a bad girl. That's why I'm being punished.
What are you talking about, Pearls?
My spiritual power, it has disappeared.
What? Her powers have disappeared? Lost powers? What do you mean? What do you mean your power has disappeared, Pearls?
It's all over for me. A spirit medium who can't channel spirits is like a painter who can't paint.
Oh. Hey! What are you looking at me for, man? Pearls, did you try to channel someone's spirit right here at Hazakura Temple? Tried but failed, perhaps?
What?
Where you go, Nick? You made her cry, man. That was really cruel of you. He starts crying too. He's so pathetic. I love him. Just as I thought. I'm going to have to break her cyclocks to get the truth out of her. Alright, well, we can't do that right now, so it says we got to move to the main hall. To the main hall. I wonder if Sister Bikini is back at the main hall yet. I haven't seen Gumshoe around for a while either. Maybe they're having a cup of tea together somewhere. I bet Gumshoe is Sister Bikini's type. Okay, main hall. Wow! What's the damage? How is the sacred cavern? It looks like it survived, but we have a bigger problem now. And I told her everything. Yeah, I told Sister Bikini all about it. About the 5 locks that were stopping us from getting inside the sacred cavern. But who could have done that? The only person who knows how to set those trick locks are those of the Karikan tradition. We have Iris at the sacred cavern, trying her best to open them for us right now. Actually, there's something I've been meaning to talk with you about, Sister Bikini. Oh, yes, we were in the middle of a chat, weren't we? Yes, you were telling me how the Master of the Karikan disappeared 17 years ago. I wanted to know why Misty Face suddenly appeared at this temple. It was about a week ago when Mystic Misty arrived. After she showed me the talisman that proved she was the master, she said, "Someone is trying to destroy the Karikan tradition's main family line. I am here to put a stop to them." I think I already know who it is. Someone was trying to destroy the main family line. There's only one heir to the title of master at any time, and it's usually the eldest. That child becomes the new master of Karikan, and her daughter's the main family. All other mediums become branch family members with no hope of controlling the clan. That's why nothing has changed throughout the history of the clan. Branch families always have and always will plot to erase those of the main family line. Is the power of the master worth this much bloodshed? Alright, let's talk. Karikan channeling technique. You believe in the technique, don't you, Mr. Wright? You know its power is real. Yes, I do. It's been 2 years since I first met Maya. In that time, I've seen her channel the spirits of the dead plenty of times. During the mass-to-mass case. And during Maggie Bird's trial, too. Thanks to Maya, Mia's always on hand to help me out when I need her most.
The Karikan technique has made a huge difference to the world, you know. I mean, the ability to commune with the dead. That's true psychic power, you know. Members of the tradition have always been there behind every important leader. Who wouldn't respect such a tremendous skill?
I suppose so, but with all that power and influence, I kind of expected you'd be really rich by now.
Are you saying we're poor, Mr. Wright? You're very direct, aren't you? People don't believe in it anymore, you see. All because of one little mistake.
A mistake? What mistake?
It was 17 years ago. That's when everything came crashing down. All because of that incident.
Oh boy, here we go again. That incident? Is she talking about what I think she is?
I'm sure the record still exists if you're interested. Locked up, of course. It was called the DL6 incident. That's the name of the file.
Yep. The DL6 incident. I knew it. DL6. The DL6 incident. I know it well. I handled a related case just 2 years ago.
That's right. So it was you who was the defense attorney on that case.
A murder that took place 17 years ago.
It was the first time in the country's history the police ever used a spirit medium. The idea was to channel the victim's spirit to learn the identity of the murderer.
And the medium who performed the channeling was Misty Faye, Maya's mother.
Through Mystic Misty's channeling, the name of a certain man surfaced. Armed with that as evidence, the investigators were spurred into action.
But that man, he was found not guilty, wasn't he?
That's right, he was.
Well, yeah, Phoenix, you should know this. You researched this case before in, like, the first game.
And the case remained a mystery. In other words, we failed. It was the first case the world had ever seen the Karikan tradition openly involved in. It was all over the media, the public, the judiciary, the people of Karikan Village. Everyone judged her. Everyone said Mystic Misty's powers were a sham. And then she just disappeared, vanished, while everyone still thought of her as a fraud.
But I know the truth. Misty Faye's spirit channeling wasn't a sham at all.
Of course it wasn't. And since you managed to reveal the truth, we're finally making a comeback. The Karikan tradition is starting to recover at last. But with a new master wielding the power of the clan?
Does she mean Maya? Dun dun dun. Family Feud.
The spiritual power of the Karikan channeling technique is in the blood.
Maya's told me the exact same thing before.
We, the women of the Fae clan, have always been spirit mediums. It's because the power to communicate with spirits flows strongly through us.
According to Maya, only the women in the family can inherit that power.
The main family's bloodline stems directly from Mystic Amy. But with each generation, only one daughter becomes the new master.
And the ones who don't become branch families, right?
That's right. And it's always the cause of tragedy.
You know, Maya had a sister too. An older sister named Mia.
Oh yes, I've heard of her.
What? You know about Mia?
Of course. She became a lawyer in the hopes of discovering what happened to her mother.
And lost her life as a result.
Do you know what Mystic Mia is rumored to have said? She said it wasn't only because of her mother that she became a lawyer. She also didn't want to fight with her sister over the leadership of the tradition. Really? Well, she saw what happened to her own mother, Mystic Miss, as she grew up. I guess Mystic Mia got tired of seeing all the rivalry between her mother and her aunt.
That's right. Misty Faye had an elder sister, too. And Misty, having superior powers, managed to usurp the master seat from her. Couldn't say that word.
Mystic Misty's sister is Mystic Morgan, as you probably know.
Yes, we know. We played through the first 2 games. I know all this. I know all of this. Morgan. There's a name I know well. It was a year ago now, at Maya's home, Karikan Village. What she did was terrible. It was all so she could make her own daughter the next master.
I suppose if you know about Mystic Morgan's daughter, then you must have already realized that Iris...
Huh? Iris? What's Iris got to do with any of this?
That Iris is Mystic Morgan's daughter!
Oh. Oh dear.
What? Iris is what? Is she kidding me? Iris is Morgan Faye's daughter?
Morgan and Iris.
Did you just say that Iris is Morgan Faye's daughter? Oops, I thought you already knew. It sounded like you've met one of Mystic Morgan's daughters already.
I have. I know her very well.
Oh?
Yes, Pearl Faye. But I always thought she was an only child.
You jest! That child? She's Mystic Morgan's? I had no idea. Mystic Morgan. But she's in prison now, isn't she?
Yes. Ever since she was found to be a co-conspirator in a murder case last year. Oh God. It was all done to set Pearls up as the next master. She's so evil.
I see. So I've been wrong all this time. Mystic Morgan had 3 daughters, not 2.
Oh. Wait, what? 3?
Yes, Iris, her twin sister, and Mystic Pearl.
We're bringing that plot line in. Okay. Again, we'll get to it. But again, I think it's pretty obvious. But again, I won't say anything until it's fully revealed.
What? Twin sister? Oh, didn't you know? It all happened 20 years ago. After the clan leadership was taken from her by her sister, Mystic Morgan's life crumbled. It wasn't many years later that Karikan's reputation hit an all-time low. When Mystic Morgan's husband realized his wife would never become the master, he left her in the village, taking their twin daughters with them.
How awful.
He was a jeweler, you know. In the end, he remarried, and that's when it happened. He decided to give one of his girls up to be looked after by us here at the temple.
Okay, this is making sense.
That was Iris, you see.
It's unbelievable. If Iris had a twin sister, could it be? Could you tell me one more thing, Sister Bikini? What was the name of Iris's sister?
I'm I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I just can't remember. All I can recall is that her father was a jeweler.
Well, that's a clue, I guess. A jeweler. Thank you very much. You've helped clear up a lot of details. Pearls had two older sisters, huh?
Yes, that's right. No doubt it was all because of Mystic Morgan's anger towards the main family.
Anger? What do you mean?
Her twin daughters were taken from her by her jeweler husband. But even that couldn't destroy her dream that a child of hers would one day lead the clan.
That's why she had pearls. That's why she had pearls?
It seems that the incident here was a result of Mystic Morgan's anger. It was able to break free of the bars that combined her. Oh, my back, I gotta adjust myself. Ooh.
So, Iris has a twin sister. The plot thickens. But this information will be useless unless I can flesh it out a bit. I need to ask more questions and get some more info. Okay. Now it's he has moved to the courtyard. Gotta move to the courtyard now. Okay. Okay. Dot 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 dot. Sounds like someone's happy. What tune is that they're humming? Hey, Gumshoe. So he's like, no motive, no crime, no motive, no crime. Sing it with me. No motive, no crime. I remember when we used to search in the Chinese room in Korean. Whoops, I love my job. Who cares if the clues I find are no good? That's not what investigating's all about. The investigator investigates for the love of investigating. It's a passion. Good cases we have, good cases we lost along the way. I would have never guessed that Gumshoe was into reggae. Every case is gonna be airtight. Every case is gonna be airtight. Hey, pal. Huh? Who? Me? How long have you been there? Long enough. I just got here. Oh, okay. So, what are you up to, detective? I'm investigating, pal. I made a promise to Mr. Edwards. I promised I would find the real murder weapon. The real murder weapon? That Bob's sword thing turned out to be a false lead, right? Well, I'm giving it my best shot here, but I still haven't turned up any clues. I just found these weird scraps of paper. It looks like a letter or something. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with the case, though. A letter? Okay. Just says talk to him, because again, we've examined everything. I'll say, but we will have to later, so hang on. The investigation. So, how's the investigation going, Detective Gumshoe? Well, I don't know if I should be telling you, pal, but I guess it can't hurt. Looks like the murder took place in the temple garden. And they're taking that bloody writing on the lantern pretty seriously back at HQ. What? You mean? I don't have the details, pal. All I know is, if you don't find Maya down in that sacred cavern, we're gonna be faced with one ugly situation. What kind of ugly situation are we looking at here? You got me, I don't know. They're not my words, pal.
Then who said it?
Mr. Godot. Godot? What did he mean by that? The letter. About that letter you found. Don't remind me, pal. I'm busting a gut here trying to find a murder weapon. And all I find is some burnt up old letter. Burnt up old letter? Yeah, it was in that incinerator right outside the temple. The incinerator? I knew it. I knew I wasn't imagining it. There was snow on the incinerator when I first saw it. But after the incident, the snow had melted away. Which means someone used the incinerator on the night of the murder. What's up with you, pal? I've got it right here if you want to take a look. Can I? Do you mind? Sure, go nuts. I don't want it, pal. You can have it. It's all spirit medium and masters and stuff. I bet it's got no relation to the case. Spirit mediums? Burnt letter added. Found by Gumshoe in the inner temple. It's got to be important if it mentions spirit mediums and masters. I better give a good look over and some serious thought. Make sure you chuck it in the trash when you're done. Littering's a crime, pal. So yeah, what does that letter say? I want to look at it. Be careful. Once night falls, should be there. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Leave everything up to her. Her name is, she is our, the whole. Here's a picture of her. Use it when you channel her. I know you can do it. Once this is, burn the letter. Also make sure to not tell anyone about this letter. Gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and burn our vengeance to fruition. Who wrote this letter? I can't think of anybody except maybe Morgan somehow? I don't know. Alright, murder weapon. Go back, thank you. So what do you know about the real murder weapons so far? Well, it wasn't the Shitsutaro that was found impaled in the victim's body. Mr. Edward proved that in court today. Yes, that's true. In which case, it must have been another blade. And that's what you're running around like a headless chicken looking for now, huh? Yeah, man, it's a tiring work, but let me tell you something, pal. I'm no chicken. We've got the federal forensics in our cap these days. We're using the department's secret weapon on this. Secret weapon? What's your secret weapon? What's the secret weapon of yours? You wanna know? You've gotta think scientifically, okay? Alright. Sorry. It's like seeing a fly. Get out of here. Alright. The murder weapon was a sword. Swords are, scientifically speaking, made of metal, right? Any questions so far? No. I know what he's gonna say, but I'll let him look smart. So what's the perfect tool for your job? Ta-da! A metal detector! Raise your hand if you didn't see this coming from a mile away. Well, you want to give scientific investigation a go? Huh? Me? Well, I've been using this thing for hours now. It gets pretty boring after a while. Why don't you give it a try? I don't know. Should I help Detective Gunshoe out or not? Yeah, play. Come on, pal! It's good fun! I'm telling you! Alright then, I guess I'll give it a go. Like I said, this is the department's most advanced gadget. The absolute best. It's so sensitive you can make it cry. It's so high-tech you can skydive off of it. Oh, bother. Oh, brother. Oh, no, that was right. Oh, bother. So now I'm going to tell you how to use it. It's possible the real murder weapon is around here somewhere, right? Sure, that's what we're trying to find out. Right, so first, let's turn the detector on. That's the sound of the metal detector signal bouncing off of something metal. Next, move the detector around to give this courtyard a good look-see, pal. Don't worry, this baby will let you know when you've hit on something metallic. And when that happens, press the X button to give the area a good hard stare. This thing picks up metallic objects that are hidden from sight, too. Take a good look at anything and everything that seems suspicious, okay, pal? Okay. Oh, my stick got stuck. I'll say the staff is metal. It doesn't look like there's anything here.
Hey, pal! All you gotta do is watch the detector and let it tell you what's where, okay?
Alright. I'm not exactly a whiz at machinery, you know? Okay. So what does it say? Gumshoe says... secret weapon. Look at the gauge. Check the staff. On the snow. So specifically on the snow it says. Oh, what? It says the staff. It's saying the staff. Oh, it's the very tip. It's big. This is Miss Dacium's staff, isn't it?
Scientifically speaking, they're usually made of wood.
Ah, okay. The very tip of it was like metal. So yeah, why is it metal? But the detector is reacting to it.
Yeah, but however you look at it, the thing's made of wood, alright? I don't bother investigating anything unless it looks like it might be metallic.
Isn't the whole point of a metal detector to find metal where you can't see it?
It's weird that this thing is causing a racket.
Here, let me take a look at it.
Hey, hands off! Examine the evidence is a job for the...
Oh. Ah! The top is coming off!
Look at what you've done! You've damaged a really important piece of evidence!
Ah! Ah! My throat. Ah, there it is.
That's
a sword.
Inside the staff!
Is this? Could it be?
The murder weapon! Da-da-da!
My God, the murder weapon. I'd never have guessed there would be a sword concealed in the victim's staff.
They call this kind of thing a sword game! This one's a real gem. The workmanship is really something else. Thank goodness it wasn't a cane sword, or else the victim would have stabbed her own foot.
I officially give up on trying to figure out how Gumshoe's mind works. If the real scene of the crime was the inner temple garden, then why was the sword used to kill the victim found in the main hall courtyard? Hey, Gumshoe, who knows about the hidden sword?
No one. Even the police didn't know about this until I discovered it just now.
Until I discovered it? You mean we? Well, as they say, there's no team in Gumshoe. It doesn't look like there are any traces of blood on it.
And I guess this isn't a murder weapon, huh?
No. I'm sure someone just wiped it off after the murder.
Yeah, of course! This thing's definitely the murder weapon. Great job, pal!
It's about the same length as the Shitotoro 2. This must be the murder weapon.
Okay, I'm gonna run over to forensics. There's gotta be some traces of blood left, even if most of it has been wiped off. See you later, pal!
Bye-bye.
Every case is gonna be airtight. Every case is gonna be airtight.
Hold it! Wait up, detective!
Huh? What is it, pal? I'm a pretty busy guy right now, you know.
You're going to get that staff analyzed, right? Would you mind holding off for just a while?
Huh? What are you talking about, pal?
Please. Just until we find Maya.
Maya? What's this got to do with her?
I don't know, but I'm starting to get a really bad feeling in the pit of my stomach.
Whoa, how so?
Look, Maya's trapped inside the sacred cavern right now, and, well, we don't even know if she's okay or not. The more evidence and testimony I hear, the more uneasy I feel.
You don't think Maya's been...
Please, detective, let's just wait until we can get inside the sacred cavern.
You're looking kinda viridian there.
I'm turning green.
Okay. Just stop it with that face, pal. One thing, though. This stuff's secret trick. Let's keep it between you and me, alright? If it gets out that we knew about it and didn't say anything, we're finished.
I understand.
This is just a regular, run-of-the-mill stuff. You got it? Okay, now you take good care of it, pal.
Thank you, Detective.
Don't worry. She'll be fine.
Gumshoe.
You know, there's a place at the base of this mountain that has some really good pasta. How about I take you there when you find Maya, huh, pal?
Sure. Thanks. Victim staff has his order inside. No one knows this except me and Detective Gumshoe. Put it away for safekeeping. I can't help but wonder, though. What was Elise Dexium doing with the staff like this in the first place? Okay, so now that we're done with that, we gotta move back to the garden. To the garden!
Oh, hey, big boy. How about you talk to me? Hey, get back here.
Suspension bridge. Temple. Guardian. Here we go. I'm glad I'm using a guide, because I wouldn't know where to go next. The cops are still combing the place. They look pretty nervous. I'd be nervous too. It's gotta be a tough job. Hey, Edgeworth. Especially with someone giving you the evil eye the whole time. How could I have done that? Wow, I can't believe it's still bothering him. Edgeworth? Oh! He just run away. Oh, shit! Don't look at me! Hey! Don't you dare run away! What do you want, Wright? What do I want? If you came here to laugh at me, then get on with it. Go on, laugh away. I was ready to hug it out with him, but he's just the same prideful Edgeworth. You went back to the Criminal Affairs Department, right? You said you wanted to look into something concerning Iris. Yes. And thanks to what I found, I was reminded of something terrible. Okay, let's talk about it.
The investigation.
You guys are putting a lot of effort into the investigation of the garden here, huh? There's a high chance this is the actual scene of the crime, that's why. You mean because of the writing in blood and the talisman in the snow? Exactly. As you know, those things couldn't have been planted here after the murder. But surely, you don't suspect Maya, do you? We have to treat everyone as a suspect. Maya as well as Iris. It's our job, right? Earthquakes? So, I guess you still haven't gotten over your fear of earthquakes. No. Though, thankfully, my nightmares have stopped. But still, if the ground gives even the slightest tremor, I find myself short of breath. 17 years ago, when we were little school kids at the same elementary school. Oh god, now another flashback. Edgeworth found himself in the middle of a murder. Oh god, we're going back. It all started with that big quake that hit the courthouse. Whoa. Yes, I was stuck in the elevator with my father, who was a defense attorney. We were deprived of oxygen and we passed out. That's when it happened. That single gunshot shattered my whole life. I lost everything that day, all because of that earthquake. My dreams, my family, and myself. It's been more than 17 years now. And that case was finally resolved 2 years ago, right? You think I don't know that? I was there. But it was such a shock. I never imagined I could be so wrong about myself and my life. I'm sorry, Wright. There's nothing else I can say. Not after you chose to become a lawyer for my sake. And not after you saved me. Edgeworth, you're stronger than you think. So no no more of this self-pity, okay? Iris.
There was something that bothered me about her from the moment we met. I felt like I've seen her somewhere before. No, wait. Not somewhere. I felt like I'd seen her in court before.
So, you went back to the Criminal Affairs Department to look for her file.
Yes, I checked over every case file I've ever worked on. And I was right. I had seen her before, 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
It was my first appearance in the court, and as cases go, it was my worst nightmare.
So, who is she?
I'm sorry, Wright. I can't give that information away to a member of the general public.
What? Why not? It might be the crucial piece of the puzzle that solves this case.
The woman I knew was the daughter of a jewelry store owner. She had nothing to do with Iris and Hazakura Temple. And neither did the case. No, that woman is completely unrelated to this murder.
Unrelated?
Yes, I can say that with complete confidence.
You're wrong, Edgeworth. She's totally related to this case. I need to fill Edgeworth in. I need to explain the correction between Iris and the woman Edgeworth knew. Okay, how do I do that? Oh, it says present profile. Present the mystery profile that we have. Morgan Fay's daughter and Iris's twin sister. Yep, okay. Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know that Iris had a twin sister?
What? A twin? You can't be serious.
Sister Bikini told me, but the problem is she didn't know the name of this twin.
There was nothing about Iris having a sister in the files I checked.
Well, Iris was taken in by the temple when she was really young. Apparently, her sister was raised by her father, a jeweler, I think.
A jeweler? Right. I just might know who this twin sister of hers is.
I had a feeling you'd say that. It's all coming together. Let me guess. Her name is Dahlia Hawthorne, right?
Yes, exactly.
Please tell me what you know about her, Edgeworth. Please.
It was my first court case 6 years ago. I was a greenhorn, and due to my inexperience, the defendant died.
You're talking about Terry Falls, right?
Huh? You know about that case?
You're not the only one who noticed something about Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne. I checked one of Mia's old files from 6 years ago.
Yes, Dahlia was a key witness in that case. Dahlia and Terry Falls conspired together to stage a fake kidnapping 11 years ago. They stole a jewel worth $2 million from Dahlia's father, a jeweler.
Dahlia, you bitch.
And 5 years after that, she murdered her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne, to keep her from talking.
Her sister?
Well, her stepsister, actually. They weren't blood related. Valerie was the only daughter of Dahlia's father's second wife.
Oh. And this is when she entered my life. The woman who tried to kill me. So after Terry Falls died, what happened to Dahlia? Did you check that out?
Does it really matter? Like I said, Dahlia isn't connected with this case.
Why are you so sure about that?
It's simple.
She's dead.
Dahlia Hawthorne is dead.
Yep. And again, this is what was leading me to the conclusion. Just because she's dead and the information we've gathered, again, we'll get into it, but you all should already know by now. I knew it from the very beginning.
What? Well, her metabolic processes are a matter of interest only to historians, so to speak.
Dahlia's dead. What do you mean by Dahlia Hawthorne is dead, Edgeworth?
Right. I must confess that in reading her file, I came to know of the murder case you were involved in during your college years. Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, thanks to the persistence of Mia Fey.
Mia Fey? Mia Fey?
At the time, Dahlia, it's like she was possessed by a demon or something.
It's been almost 5 years since that guilty verdict was handed down, and her sentence was finally carried out. She was executed last month.
Executed?
I'm sure that's a bit of a shock for you, Wright, and for more reasons than one. But do you understand now? She can't possibly be connected with this case.
Yes, she can.
She's dead, and once someone is dead, there is no way to revive them.
Oh, yes, there is. There's no way to revive the dead? I wonder. It seems you're not aware of one other connection yet, Edgeworth.
And what is that?
It's about Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne's mother.
What's their mother got to do with any of this?
She's Morgan Fey, a spirit medium from a branch family of the Karikan channeling technique.
Did you say Karikan channeling technique?
Do you know something about it?
Oh yes, I know it's connected with that fraudulent spirit medium.
Fraudulent?
I was involved in another nightmare 17 years ago. I was caught up in the middle of a murder investigation. The police didn't have any leads. They were stumped, and that's when they called her in. She was a very famous spirit medium and the master of her channeling school. But you know what happened. As a result of her efforts, an innocent man was accused of murder. She and her powers, they were all fraudulent.
Edgeworth.
Go to the police records room. It's all in there. All you have to do is check the DL6 incident case file and you'll know.
Of course. How could I forget? Edgeworth was the victim in that case. Edgeworth, you'll understand someday. And then, you'll see that the Karikan channeling technique is real. Okay, that's it. So we have Dahlia's profile, so now we can go back to the training hall. I'm assuming we can break her psych locks now. Hello. Time to break them. Take it! Hello, Iris.
The night of the crime.
I think it's time you told me the truth about what you were doing on that night. You said you were in your room at Hazakura Temple the entire time. Do you still claim that to be true?
Yes, that's where I was.
Iris, I believe you're innocent. That's why I want to believe what you're telling me too. But I can't. Because this person saw you somewhere else on the night of the murder. Miss Bikini? Yep, she's the only one that saw her at the Inner Temple. I'm talking about Sister Bikini, of course.
Sister Bikini?
Her testimony in court today was very clear.
That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but
you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So, I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple.
Sister Bikini didn't just see you. She spoke with you. You two talked about Maya's training that night. So you see, Iris, you were there at the Inner Temple on the night of the murder.
That's very impressive, Mr. Wright. Da-da-da. The acolyte's actual training was due to start after 10 o'clock at that night. I left the main hall early, so I wouldn't be late.
What time was that?
Let me see. It takes about 20 minutes to walk between the main hall and the inner temple. So I would have left at 9:40 p.m., I think.
I'm sorry, Iris, but lying just doesn't suit you.
Huh?
Now, you say you left the main hall at 9:40 p.m., but what you said doesn't add up with this. Would it be the map? Let me just make sure. Present. Oh, it says present her testimony or hood. Retrieved before the lights out bell. Oh, because, yeah. And then her testimony where she says she stayed in her room the entire time. So, okay, yeah. You yourself testified to the contrary, don't you remember? Oh, yeah, that should have been obvious, yeah. She said she stayed in her room the entire time, obviously. Why would you say you came here if you say you stayed in the room? You said you rang the lights out bell at 10 o'clock that night. Plus, only moments before you rang that bell, you were seen at the main hall by the most reliable witness I have.
Who's that?
Me.
Mr. Wright.
We even spoke a little that evening. That's when you gave me this. Surely you haven't forgotten.
No, that's right. I remember.
Ba-ba-ba. And that brings us to another puzzling fact, Iris. At 10 o'clock on the night of the murder, you were seen in two different places at the same time. It's time you told me exactly what's been going on, Iris. So far, I've managed to prove two things. First, on the night of the incident, you were at the Inner Temple. And second, at the exact same time, you were ringing the bell at Hazakura Temple. There's only one possible explanation for this apparent impossibility. You were at Hazakura Temple, you were at the Inner Temple. There were two of you. I wonder if that would be the answer, two of you. Because, I mean, it could be possible, two of you. Because, again, we're obviously going to bring Dahlia into this. Let me see. Yes, there were two of you. I was right. On the night of the incident, you were seen in two different places at the same time. Which means there must have been two of you. I can't think of any other explanation, Iris.
But that's crazy. How could that be? There's only one of me. It's impossible.
Impossible? I wonder. The way you're trembling certainly seems to suggest otherwise.
Gulp. You're seriously trying to suggest there's more than one of me? Then show me the evidence. Show me something that proves there is more than one of me.
Gladly. Where am I? There. Gladly. Take that! Obviously, your sister. I have a firm grasp of the situation now, Iris. You have a sister, don't you? A twin sister, perhaps? That's right. Dahlia Hawthorne. I want a woman I know only too well.
I had no idea you knew of her. Very impressive, Mr. Wright. But she's no longer...
Yes, I know. Her sentence was carried out recently, wasn't it? I'm sorry.
Thank you.
There's no need to explain now, is there, Iris? This second you, who was here at the temple on the night of the murder, it was your twin sister, Dahlia Hawthorne.
Dun 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 dun.
Yep. This all led up to her. She did everything, of course. I knew it from the very beginning, you bitch.
But you just said it yourself a second ago. My sister's dead. Have you forgotten that?
Have you forgotten this, Iris? This is a channeling dojo, a training ground of the Karikan channeling technique. That night, someone channeled Dahlia's spirit, and you knew about it. And that's the secret you've been trying to hide from me.
Dun dun dun.
Da-da. So wait, so I might have been wrong with some of my theories then. Because I thought she possessed Iris. If she didn't possess Iris, then there's only one other person. I think. Could it be... Shit, could it be Pearls? Oh my god, what if it turns out Pearls? So Dahlia might have used Pearl's body just to murder somebody. Oh my god, the night of the crime. Alright, let's get the details.
I was in my room in the main hall that night. As soon as I heard that I'd been spotted at the inner temple, I knew it was my sister, Dahlia, the other half of me who passed away last month.
Just as I suspected. The Iris that Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple on the night of the murder. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Why didn't you tell me this before?
But because my sister always does the right thing.
Excuse me?
And because I mustn't get in the way of what she's trying to do. I already betrayed her once before. I can't do it again.
You betrayed her? What do you mean?
That's why I had to accept I may be found guilty. It's the only way.
What is she talking about? Betrayal.
You know about it, don't you, Mr. Wright? About the fake kidnapping that took place here on Eagle Mountain 11 years ago? That was the start of it all. It's what started her down that twisted path.
Dun, dun, dun. My god.
She started to commit crime after crime, and in the end, she lost her life. It's all because I betrayed her.
How did you betray her, Iris?
It was no coincidence that Eagle Mountain is where the exchange was to take place. After all, I helped plan the whole thing.
What?
But I got scared, so I ran away.
What are you talking about? Why would you help her? Stealing $2 million from your own father. That's awful.
But I promised that I'd help. And she didn't do it for the money.
Huh?
It was revenge on our father.
Revenge? What do you mean by revenge?
He was a hideous man. He threw our mother away and then sent her to hell.
Her mother? She must be talking about Morgan Fay.
Our mother was the eldest sister of the main branch of the Fay family. The main family had a lot of influence in many business and political circles at the time. As the eldest sister, our mother was set to inherit all of that as the next master. That's the reason our father married our mother in the first place, for power. But his plan backfired. Because our mother's sister took it all from her, she took over as the master of Karikan.
That would be Misty Fay, Maya's mother.
But before long, the credibility of the Karikan tradition hit rock bottom. The new master, Mystic Misty Fay, made a terrible mistake.
It all comes back to the DL6 incident.
It was during the investigation of the DL6 incident.
Damn it! We'll never get away from that case.
After that happened, our father took me and my twin sister away, leaving our mother and our home behind. He hated the place. He said it was a hick dive and that he had no reason to stay there.
And that's when you came here to Hazakura Temple?
Yes, the woman my father took as his next wife already had a daughter, Valerie. I had no place in his family, you see.
Oh.
And I haven't seen my mother once since then. Having the master's seat stolen from her and being rejected by her own family. I've heard she's been very battered, spiritually and emotionally.
I think I'm finally beginning to see how the pieces fit together. Oh, hey.
I have asked her everything I can in my capacity as a prosecutor. This incident, everything related to it goes back to the history of the Fae clan.
That's what it looks like. Iris, there's just one more thing I want you to tell me.
What is it?
During the incident in which your sister Dahlia Hawthorne poisoned a lawyer, she began a relationship with a certain college student in order to hide the evidence. That college student, have you heard anything about him?
Well, I did hear one thing. She said she hated his guts.
Damn. Fuck. Phoenix was like, damn. I see. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome.
Oh, hurry up, Phoenix Wright. There is still much to investigate.
Leave these locks to me. I'll open them for you, I promise.
Thank you. I suppose I better continue my investigation. There's still one giant secret left to unlock. Yep. Pearl's Cyclock. Okay. Bye-bye, Iris. So, yep, as I said in the beginning, I always knew that Dahlia was behind this. But again, I didn't realize, like, oh, did she possess pearls just to do her plan? If she did, then Jesus. That's horrible. And that's why she don't want to talk about it. Look at that. They really did make a fire right in front of the shack.
Oh, Mr. Nick.
Ha! You're too late, Nick. If you came here for one of our potatoes, we've already polished them off. Polished them all off, man. I think I've pretty much got all the evidence I need. Now I just need to find out what Pearls is hiding. Tell me your secrets! Okay. The night of the crime. After dinner on the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Elise Decium's room reading a book together, correct?
Yes, I was so happy when she invited me. But I didn't go in the end.
You didn't go.
No, there was somewhere else I had to go instead. I was so worried. I had to go. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was so nervous.
So Pearls never went to Miss Decium's room because she was too worried about something or someone else. Pearls. On the night of the murder, you went to this place, didn't you? The Inner Temple, because obviously she was worried about Maya. You went here, didn't you, Pearls? Looks like she's still not going to open up to me. This is where you went because you were so worried, right? Then the next question is, who or what were you so worried about? Now, I'm going to take a guess, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, okay?
You mean you know?
If I'm right, will you tell me the whole truth?
Okay.
You went to this place for one very simple reason, and this is it. I'm assuming Maya? Yep. It's obvious what you were so worried about, Pearls. It was Maya, wasn't it?
Ah!
You knew the training Maya was undertaking was dangerous. After all, it was a special course.
your special course.
Well, my, quite brave of you considering how cold it is. Young people can be so reckless with their health. Don't blame me if you become one with those you channel.
Oh yeah, she actually expressed that in the beginning. She was like, "Oh no,
Mystic Maya.
Sister Bikini scared you with what she said, didn't she? And because it was you who introduced Hazakura Temple to Maya in the first place, you felt responsible, didn't you?"
Thinking about what could happen to Mystic Maya made me more and more worried. I couldn't sit still at all. That's why I decided to go and find out what she was doing at the inner temple.
Da-da. Then we're clear now that you went to the inner temple that night, Pearls. What's not clear is what happened after that. About what time was it when you headed over to the inner temple?
It was probably around 9:30 when I left the main hall. I heard the real training was supposed to start at 10. I wanted to get there before it started, but there was so much snow, so I didn't get there until after 10 o'clock.
Until after 10 o'clock? How'd you know what time it was?
Because I heard the bell ringing for lights out.
She heard the lights out bell. The Hazakura Temple bell's pretty small though, isn't it? You must have really good hearing.
I was really trying to pick up the sound of that bell, that's all. I didn't want to miss it. That would be terrible.
She was trying to hear the bell? Tell me, Pearls, why were you so worried about hearing that bell?
Huh? Oh,
I think I know why. The reason you were so worried about that bell was because of this. What could it be? The weather data. Let me see. No. Burnt letter. Oh, I was wondering. Oh, shit. The letter's addressed to her. Oh, no. I was right. You were given some instructions to follow for that night, weren't you? I presume you recognize these pieces of paper? Ah, so she's the one that burned them. Oh, my God. Dahlia freaking possessed her and made her kill. Oh, my God. And tried to frame Maya for it, too. Oh, no.
where did you?
In the incinerator at the inner temple. Pearls, you were following the instructions in this letter that night, weren't you? That's why you couldn't afford to miss the sound of the lights out bell.
I'm speechless, Mr. Nick. You're amazing.
These instructions that were found in the incinerator, I believe they were written for you, Pearls.
For me? No.
As you can see, a large portion has been burnt, but the last section is still fairly legible. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Who was it, Pearls? Whose spirit were you supposed to be channeling? Taking into account the author of the note and their purpose for writing it, whose spirit would Pearls have been trying to channel? Don't overthink it, Phoenix. It's pretty obvious who Pearls was supposed to channel. The person you were trying to channel that night, Pearls, was Dahlia Hawthorne. Yep. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? That was the name that was in the letter. Da-da-da. It's just as I suspected. So I'm guessing it was a letter from her mother, Morgan Fay, and gave her explicit instructions. Because again, even though we know she's a criminal, Pearl still sees Morgan as her mother. Oh no. It wasn't Iris who Sister Bikini met at the inner temple that night. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, and again, couldn't tell because she had the hood on. Covered her red hair. Do you know anything about her, Pearls? Do you know what kind of a woman Dahlia Hawthorne was?
No. I've never heard of anyone by that name before reading those instructions.
Thought so. Pearls doesn't have a clue. She doesn't know that Dahlia is her sister. Da, da, da. About the instructions in the letter I found, Pearls. Who wrote them? Whoever it was asked you to channel the spirit of someone you never heard of. You must have quite a lot of respect for them. After all, you followed their instructions without question. So here's my next question. Who wrote this set of instructions for you to follow? Yeah, I was gonna say, it's obvious, your mother. Pearls. I have to wonder about something. You didn't have any idea what these instructions meant, did you?
But, my heart.
But you followed them to the letter regardless. Why? Because it was your own mother who asked you. That's why.
How did you?
I figured it out. The person who wrote you this letter was your own mother, Morgan Fay.
What?
All right, Pearls. It's time you started telling me the truth.
Mr. Nick, I...
Why is she holding back from me? I don't like this.
Don't underestimate me just because I'm a child.
Huh?
If you're trying to say I followed these instructions, I'd like to see some proof.
What?
Because I don't think you have any.
She'd say anything rather than admit to carrying out those instructions. I guess I'll have to produce some more evidence then. One more thing should do it. All right, Pearls. We both know someone carried out these instructions on the night of the murder. But you're right. There's no evidence that proves it was you.
I knew it.
However, I do know that whoever did it was a child.
Huh? How do you know that?
It couldn't have been an adult. No adult would have made a simple mistake like that.
A simple mistake? What do you mean by that?
I'm sure you thought you were carefully following the instructions you'd been given, but you misunderstood some of the words, and this is the evidence that proves it. I'm gonna go on a theory and say it's the scroll. Like, I think they wanted her to burn the scroll, but it said gravy. Let me make sure. Yep, the hanging scroll. So she thought one of the words was gravy. She was meant to burn it. Take that! I don't know why I went Edgewood there. I meant, take that! It was you who splattered gravy on this hanging scroll, wasn't it?
What? Why would I do something like that? Do something like...
Do you remember what was written in that letter? Gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition. Oh, she thought gravely meant like gravy. That's good. But you didn't know how to read the words gravely and roast, among other things, right?
How did you know that?
Remember the conversation you had with Miss Decium on the night of the murder? Yeah, I was gonna say, I remember. She taught her how to read those words. Perhaps we can read some books together.
Really? I'd love to. I'm not very good at reading.
Well then, would you like to practice reading with me?
Miss Elise, so for example, how do you read this?
It says gravely. That's kind of a tough word.
Sure, Miss Dexium taught you how to read gravely and roast. But what she didn't teach you is what they meant.
Gravely sounded like gravy to me, and the only roast I could think of was the food.
And that's why you did it. That's why you covered the picture of the master in gravy from that night's pot roast.
To be honest, I did think it was a bit strange. I guess I really did get the wrong idea.
Just a tiny bit.
I really am useless.
Oh, no.
I couldn't even burn the letter properly as my mother had asked of me. Such a simple thing, and I couldn't even do it right.
Oh. Poor Pearls, you're not useless. Your mother should be ashamed for using you. Alright, the night of the crime.
After dinner that night, I did go to the inner temple with a pot full of the leftover gravy.
The gravy?
I saw the picture on the hanging scroll near the sacred cavern. I was sure it was the master of Karikin, like it said in the letter.
I see. And then?
Well, it was already way past 10 when I got there because of all the snow. So I went to the inner temple guest area.
Guest area. Sorry. The guest area.
Yes, I thought I could wait there until the training was over.
Why didn't you just go to the training hall?
Because Mystic Maya's main training had already started, and I couldn't interrupt it. So I just stayed where I was and prayed for her to get through it. But then
Pearls, did you fall asleep?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just couldn't help it.
Hey, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it, Pearl. Who cares if you fell asleep? I fell asleep waiting for Iris, too. It happens, man. Anyway, then you found yourself trapped at the inner temple.
Yes, when I woke up. It was morning. I tried not to cry, but Dusty Bridge wasn't there anymore, and there was no one in the training hall. I thought everyone had left me because I overslept. I threw the letter into the incinerator, then I heated up the leftover gravy and
let off some steam by chucking the gravy on the scroll while you cried. It must have been pretty scary for you, Pearl. I know what it's like. Nick used to leave me behind when I fell asleep at school, too. Don't equate something so trivial with your experience, Larry. Lost powers. Yeah. What's this about your powers being lost? Okay. It was written right in my... Oh, that was her.
it was written right in my mother's letter. It said, as soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. I was on my way over to the inner temple when I heard the bell ring.
So you channeled Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit?
No. I tried, but I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it?
I've never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened. I tried and I tried. Yesterday, this morning, the whole time. But I just couldn't do it.
Don't let it get you down, Pearl. It'll all work out. If you want, I'll come flying through the sky for you. Whoosh! Just like that, man. So she never managed to channel the spirit. Okay. So who did Dahlia use then? Could it have been Maya? Is that why you think your spiritual powers are gone?
Yes, I don't know what to do.
Isn't there any other explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit?
I suppose there's one other possibility. It's not very likely, though.
Could you please tell me what it is, anyway?
It could happen if someone else was already channeling the same spirit.
Oh, dear. Someone else? What do you mean?
Well, there's only one of each spirit, right?
Yep, it's like dating a girl, Nick. You can't see a hot chick if she's already taken, man.
Then that would mean on the night of the murder, someone else channeled her spirit before Pearls could. Oh, God. So if it wasn't Pearls, was it Maya? Did she accidentally summon Dahlia? Oh, no. Someone else channeled the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne.
I am a failure. I couldn't even grant my mother's final wish.
Her final wish?
Yes, this letter. This is my last wish, she said. So make sure you follow the instructions carefully.
This letter. I definitely need to find out more about it. Okay, Morgan's letter.
My mother has gone to a place called a penitentiary.
Yeah, I know Pearls.
I visit her every month. And last month she told me,
The time we've been waiting for has come, Pearl. There's something I need you to do for me. I hid a letter for you at our home before they brought me here. I want you to read it and do exactly what it says. It's for the good of the Fae Clan, my angel. You'll be doing a great thing. Now, listen carefully, and I'll tell you where the letter's hidden.
Jesus. Dang it. Phone turned off.
my mother is always nice to me. I love her very much.
Yeah, Mom will do anything for the kids, right, man?
She said it was for the good of the Fae Clan, so I knew I had to help her. I mean, Mystic Maya's part of the Fae Clan, so it had to be good for her, too. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Nick?
I guess so. Yeah.
There was a picture with her letter, too,
A picture?
of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Usually, a picture is enough to channel someone's spirit, but this time...
Pretty weird, huh, man?
Like Larry knows anything about this stuff?
There's something else that was strange about my mother's letter. The seal on it was broken, as if someone had already opened it once before.
That sure is pretty strange, man.
Someone had opened it already? Burnt letter updated in the court record. Thanks, Pearls. You really helped me out.
You're very welcome. My mother is watching over us, so I'm sure Mystic Maya will be all right.
Look at that innocent smile on her face. What am I supposed to say to her? Shit.
Finally figured it out, have you, Trite? You finally realize how terrible of a crime being painfully obvious is.
Godot!
The entrance to the sacred cavern looks like a freaking puzzle workshop.
I guess he's talking about Iris and the lock-breaking effort.
But it's all a waste of time.
Well, why do you say that?
Because my Faye isn't coming back.
What? You don't know what you're talking about. How can you say something like that?
It was your job to protect her, Trite. Just like it was your job to protect me, Faye. Two sisters, caught up in the worst circumstances.
I realize that, but...
And you were the only one who was by their sides. You were the only one who could have saved them.
Damn. But I didn't know anything about what was going on.
What did I just say, Trite? Being oblivious is a heinous crime in itself. Tomorrow, we'll settle everything in court tomorrow. Once and for all.
Damn.
Mr. Nick? Is what that man just said true?
It'll be alright, Pearls. I'm sure Maya's alive. You'll see for yourself tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. I know I can trust you, Mr. Nick.
Oh, boy. My dear Pearl, you've done so well, my child. My Pearl. Ah, get away. It's better that you don't know what you've done. I knew this day would come for you. The blood of the main family is no more. Now finally, after all this time, the master's seat is yours. My last great wish. It seems I was just in time.
Dun dun dun. To be continued.
What a bitch. That Morgan. Oh my god.
I love how earlier in the part I thought like
Larry's letter had something to do with the murder. Like, oh god, but no, not at all. I was just way off. So yeah, so we finally find out the truth. It turns out Iris and Dahlia are twins, and it turned out that Dahlia possessed somebody and used their body to murder somebody. Alright, this is it. This is the final stretch. And if I remember from the guide, we actually have 3 parts to the trial. We have part 1, 2, and 3. So let's get a preview of part 1, and we'll call it a part.
Good morning. Oh, are you by yourself?
Ah, morning, Pearls.
Mr. Nick, please tell me what's going to happen to Mystic Maya.
I'm sorry. We don't know yet. The investigation is still going on, so I wasn't allowed into the inner temple.
Oh, I see. So is Sister Iris still trying to remove those trick locks in the training hall?
No, she's the defendant in this case, so she can't be at the inner temple. She's required to be here in court.
Then how come she's not here in the defendant's lobby?
I have to admit, it's kind of strange. Who is this? Let me make sure. Let me be quiet for a second. Oh, no. If you're looking for... Okay, I'll do that again. If you're looking for Iris, she's in the prosecutor's lobby. Okay, it was Edgeworth. Sorry about that. Edgeworth! What's Iris doing over there?
she's going over today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak.
Today's testimony?
You heard me. Iris is going to be testifying as a witness for the prosecution.
Wait, what?
The prosecutor is squeezing her up for a confession, or so I heard.
Francisca von Karma, what are you up to?
I know what you're thinking, but Francisca isn't going to be the prosecutor today.
Yeah, we'll say it's Godot, obviously. What? Then who is it?
Who else would it be but Godot?
Godot?
Francisca is engaged in some important work at the Sacred Cavern.
The Sacred Cavern? You don't mean that she's...
Exactly. She has been out there all night trying to remove those trick locks. With the head nun's assistance, naturally. We estimate that the last of the locks should be taken care of in about 3 hours. I hope everything continues to go smoothly, and we receive some good news soon.
Yeah, thanks, Edgeworth.
Prosecutor Godot intends to nail this case shut today. Be prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow.
You don't have to tell me that.
Touché. I can already see it in your eyes. You're not the same fever-ridden, frantic maniac you were yesterday.
It's strange. On the way here, I decided that today would be the end of all of this. Almost immediately after I made that decision, I felt myself getting stronger.
Interesting. Maybe you've passed your cold on to someone else, literally. And with that, I leave the rest in your capable hands, partner.
Thanks. Yeah! They high-five before they go in. Yeah! I still don't have answers for most of the riddles plaguing this case. The circumstances around the murder of Miss Elise Dexium. No, I mean Miss Misty Fay. The impossible flight Larry claims to have seen. And what that woman is really after. I will solve them all and bring this whole tragedy to an end. Da-da-da. Okay.
Rap, 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 oh my god.
It's the final trial, everybody.
Court is now in session for the trial of Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Just awkward silence. Your Honor, what are you?
Who? Me? Well, my little brother came to visit me in my chambers earlier this morning. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted.
The other judge got sick. Oh no. Oh, so he has to take over. Great.
Therefore, I'll be standing in for him.
Well, good. I wanted you back anyway, Judge. You're the best. I see, Your Honor. So, they're brothers. That explains a lot, especially because of their beards.
My poor brother. He looked a bit pale, not to mention sad that he couldn't be here.
Oh, God.
It is impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. This is precisely why people feel the need to judge the past. And we of the court have been charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgment.
Well said, Mr. Goldar. I understood exactly what you said, at least up until the end anyway. Now then, Mr. Goldar, please proceed with your opening statement.
Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the shifting of the tides. There's only one thing that remains a constant in this crazy world. The bitter darkness that lies at the bottom of this mug.
So then you mean, forget it. What do you mean?
During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit her role in the crime. But today, she has had a change of heart. Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple has a confession to make.
Confession? The defendant?
Iris, why didn't she discuss this with me first?
Very well. This court will now hear the defendant's confession.
Hello. Oh, dang it, I hit the camera. No! I messed up the shot, sorry. Alright, do the voice.
Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules.
My name is Iris. I am but a simple nun undergoing training at Hazakura Temple.
Wait, is there something that you want to confess to?
Yes. But first, I want to apologize to Mr. Wright. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore.
It's alright. What is it?
Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in this terrible incident.
Are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you were the one who murdered Miss Elise Dexium?
No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I dealt with the cover-up after the murder took place. After her spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of Mystic Elise and carried it to the Hazakura Temple courtyard where I discarded it.
What? Oh my God, she carried the body and discarded it. What a terrible woman. Kill her, kill her, kill her. Order in the court. Order. Witness, are you saying you were an accomplice to murder?
Yes, that's correct.
What?
Oh my God, she's an accomplice to murder. I had no idea.
3 minutes in court and I'm already covered in a cold sweat.
Everyone on the planet is an accomplice to something. It just happens to be that in this case, it's to murder. Isn't that right, Mr. Trite?
The Godot.
So this is the confession they were conferring about. It pains me to say this, but it looks like Iris's testimony was all Iris's testimony crumpled up and shoved into pocket.
Now then, little lady, if you don't mind, I've got a question for you. Whose crime are you trying to cover up by your actions?
Iris was covering for someone? Well, now I'm definitely up the creek without a paddle or a life jacket.
I've been at Hazakura Temple ever since I was a little girl. Hazakura Temple is run by one of the branch families of the Karikan tradition. One of our missions is to protect the main family.
I'm sorry, but main family?
Yes, and that's why I would dirty myself, if need be, to protect her. The daughter of the master of the Karikan channeling technique. Mystic Maya Fey.
Huh?
Wake up and smell the coffee, Trite.
She's naming...
Maya! Oh my God, she's trying to protect Mystic Maya Fey. I had no idea. Order in the court. So not only did you witness the murder, you know the name of the murderer?
I'm terribly sorry, but it's true. I saw her commit the crime with my very own eyes. And then I cleaned up the area to try to protect her.
Objection!
That's ridiculous! Maya could never be that...
The defense will refrain from commencing until the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime?
Yes, Your Honor.
I thought I was prepared for the unexpected. But I never imagined the case would wind up going in this direction. It always goes in that direction. The real murderer. Alright. Let's let her finish, okay. Save. And when we come back, we will begin the first part of the final trial, getting towards the end of Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. So again, hope you all enjoyed. This has been CB Ultra 768, and we'll be back with some more Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations next time. So stay tuned for that.